You are not alone. Hey kids, this is what SprintX is telling hundreds of entrepreneurs and talented teams that are looking for a way to launch their own business. They have identified these needs of the startups of today to build the industries of tomorrow. SprintX is developing business ideas, plus launching the promotion of their future ICOs, plus listing them on SprintX's own exchange. SprintX is unleashing a new age of support for startups and ICOs, and you can be part of it. ICOs have had legal issues, scams are rampant, and fake projects taint the reputation of legitimate ones. SprintX will filter and verify all startups doing ICOs as legitimate companies that will follow a strict business discipline so they become profitable and successful for all investors. Startups have issues after doing their ICOs to convert their funds since most are done raised in crypto, but need to be cashed into fiat afterwards. SprintX will use SwitchX as crypto and fiat exchange. That will convert and embrace crypto and fiat, conforming to laws and regulations while supporting cryptocurrencies for all of our investors and users. Lastly, SprintX will use Nova as the startup incubator that will accelerate growth for all of the startups they support and build their first ever tech hub for startups in LATAM. This means entrepreneurs from all over the world can come to Nova and develop their companies in a tech hub that will be turned into a real crypto smart city. It's almost like Disneyland for people in crypto and people who are smart and people that want to live in a city. Visit SprintX.io to learn more and sign up now. Tell them Crypto the WonderDog sent you. And when you're there, watch for little crypto WonderDogs roaming the streets and scratch them on the head. They won't bite. Toss them a Bitcoin and they'll go sit under a shade tree and enjoy the afternoon. Okay. Let's get to the program. Hey kids, it's Dean from Crypto the WonderDog Show. Hey, if you guys are planning on going over to the islands, and I mean the islands, the American islands of Hawaii, be sure to check out Maui Wowie on Maui. My buddy Christopher out there, he has started a token, the Maui Wowie, built on the Ethereum network. Sat down and talked with him as he was just sitting seaside with his toes in the sand, enjoying the Hawaiian breeze right there by the beach. Not to be confused with the California beach, which is a little less tropical and not as blue. But I do love hanging out in Hawaii. I wish I was there to hang with him right now, but I'm not. I'm here in California. And here is our conversation that we had just a bit ago. Our buddy Christopher from Maui Wowie. You guys ready to start the show? All right, let's start the show. So, get past all the technical issues and the jackhammers and all the other crap that goes along with life. Chris from Maui Wowie, how are you doing?
Aloha.
Aloha. Man, this is early morning for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Well, it's only 1:43 here, so it must be morning time for you.
Yes, sir. It's before.
Lovely day at the beach.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, what a life! But you know, we have that here in California, but we don't have the crystal blue waters and the little sea turtles hanging out with you on the beach. And you're in Maui. That was the first island I ever went to when I went to Hawaii. It was Maui. I love Maui.
They say Maui no Ko'oi, which means the very best.
The very best, yeah. You know, when I got back to California, the first thing I did was look for a job in Maui. I want to go back. But you made it out there, and you've turned a career into a lifestyle into a career out there of being a tattoo man, right?
Yes, sir. I've tattooed in the islands for about 18 years.
Wow. And you go to all the islands? You just hang out in one place? What do you do?
I've tattooed in Waikiki, which is Oahu. It's another island, but that's really the only other island I've tattooed on. I've been to several other islands, Big Island, Kauai. I actually did a cannabis convention on Kauai, which was interesting.
Wow. Is it pretty just pretty accepted out there?
Um, it is, but it isn't. There's unfortunately there's still a lot of red tape as far as legality with our dispensary system. Hawaii was actually, I believe, the second or third state to allow for medicinal use, and they really just enacted a dispensary system a year ago,
Wow.
and we still don't have dispensaries statewide.
No.
There's a couple open here and there, but it's really boggled down with bureaucracy, really.
Mm. But you've kind of got the best of both worlds going on over there. You've got tokens. You've tokenized cannabis with the Maui Wowie token, and brought the two worlds together.
Yeah, yes, sir. It kind of happened magically, so to speak. Kind of in my search for higher capital, I guess, to develop our company and the facets that we would like to see long term developed, which is acquisition of large parcels of land here in Maui. It just made sense to launch our own cryptocurrency and with the namesake Maui Wowie, which now we have a federal trademark on.
A federal trademark.
Yes, sir.
And that must not be easy to get, right? Or is it? I don't. I have no idea.
No, it wasn't. And again, that was kind of magical how that happened as well. I had actually made a lot of sacrifices and sold my BMW and my Harley and kind of took all the money and went to Miami to go do a trade show. And I ended up meeting our trademark lawyer at the time, and things kind of just escalated from there.
Wow. And when I've talked, we've talked before. We've talked a couple of times on the phone here, and you sound pretty smart when it comes to the whole cryptocurrency thing.
Yes, sir. I educated myself probably for a good 3 or 4 months, watching documentaries. Very boring, very dry. I actually probably had to wake myself up through every one of them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of information to digest to really, really fully understand the technology, because it really is technology. It's not just what do they use the word pyramid scheme. It's nothing like that. It's actual technology that will forever be encrypted into the internet, basically.
Yeah, and it's like internet, not 2.0, like 3.0, right?
Well, it depends on what blockchain you're using. How advanced the blockchain is. I do believe. So we're an ERC20 token. So we're on the Ethereum blockchain, and NASA just literally signed on with Ethereum to use Ethereum smart contract technology to, from what I understand, communicate with their satellites and whatnot. So I'm really excited to see that technology, move into the next phase of adaptation.
Yeah. And you've got from what you've told me, you've got a pretty nice team around you, helping you create all of the back end on this, right?
Yes, sir. We have a programmer named Matthew Neal. He's a former Google employee. He's a former Uber employee. He actually wrote some of the front end software for Uber app. He's just a real brilliant guy. I can't even thank the universe enough for putting him in our path. He's just really, really bright when it comes to what he does, which his talent is coding.
Yeah. Very cool. And besides him, is there any other guys that you got working with you?
There is. We have uh, a gentleman named Kavika Le Aloha. He actually runs a company that has about 100 employees, and he is he's mentoring me on the business end of things, and that's a hard job because I'm very kind of stubborn myself, just because I've been in tattooing for 22 years, so I'm kind of hard around the edges, but in the same stroke, I strive to be a better businessman. I want to be the best businessman I can be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Um, so let's go back a little bit. How did you get into tattooing?
Um, Honestly, that was so long ago. I basically had friends that were doing it that were very amateurish at best, and I got into it, and then I was very fortunate, and I got basically adopted by a small family of tattooers that is legendary. Um, Miss Katumani hired me at my first shop I worked at, which is in San Diego Tattoo Land. And it just kind of went from there. The owner of the shop actually came to town, and she saw that I was an amateur, but she really liked me. And what she told me was this. She said, I normally fire people like you, but you're a good person, and I see that. And she says, you can make a good tattooer out of anybody, but you can't make a good person out of any tattooer.
Yeah.
And so I really held on to that for 22 years. I mean, I have the highest ethics that there can possibly be as far as sanitation and really responsible tattooing. There's a lot of people that are tattooing their face or their hand before they have any other tattoos, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm actually grandfathered in the state of Hawaii for doing laser tattoo removal.
Laser tattoo removal. You getting a lot of that?
I have done it for about 10 years. A friend of mine that I taught, he does it for the state of California for the prison system.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
So they go in prison and they want to take their tattoos off?
Actually, he does it for parolees that are getting ready to be released.
Oh, okay. Because I guess that helps with the whole merging back into society and
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And tattoos unfortunately are still taboo, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of lack of really just professionalism, to where people are doing it for a means to an end instead of out of passion. And so they'll do any tattoo basically, and that really has hurt our society, because there's these beautiful young women walking around with full sleeves, or some of them are beautiful, but for the most part what I see is trash on people.
Wow, that's crazy coming from a tattoo artist. Yeah.
And it's a really harsh statement, because I still love what I do, but at the same stroke, I think tattooing needs to be regulated on a federal level, because every state is on a different page. And Entrepreneur Magazine just actually wrote up an article with me regarding what the cannabis industry could learn from the tattoo industry.
Yeah.
And it really, the both industries are actually at the same transition, really, with society and government, and they both need to be regulated federally to where there are responsible applications to the industry.
Yeah. Wow. Well, are you seem like a very active guy, and when it comes to voicing your opinion, are you going to be try to be part of that?
Honestly, with tattooing, I'm kind of turning down the gear, and I would like to be putting 110% of my energy into my company, which is Maui Wowie Inc. And we started that corporation 5 years ago, and we're still at a point that we don't have the capital that we would like to really develop our facets the way we could.
Yeah.
I mean, we're literally an internationally recognized brand, but it takes money to really get product going and to develop some of the facets that we have sitting in the wait.
Yeah, and you got into you started doing papers, and that's where the name Maui Wowie came from. Was the cigarette papers?
Correct. That our federal trademark is on the papers, which ultimately will protect us in a pre-roll market. Our next run of papers is actually going to say Maui Wowie on the paper. So we literally would have the same level of protection that Marlboro has.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but again, everything takes money. To get to the point that we're at, there's been a lot of sacrifices. Close friends have been huge contributors to the corporation. I must give a shout out to my friend Robin Upson down in Florida, who basically warehouses my product. She literally put her house in Hawk to help the company.
Oh my God! Wow, you don't hear that too often.
Well, it's huge commitment, but at the same time, she smokes. She understands the value of what we bring to the table, and she also understands my level of commitment for the company.
Yeah.
We're making huge progress, and the crypto is just the next phase of us being able to really explode in the international scene.
Wow. And what was your start in doing the papers? How did you get into that?
Honestly, when I started the corporation 5 years ago, I basically had secured a website called mauiwowie.xxx, and my goal was to create a website that was a social media for cannabis, and it kind of just evolved into the rolling papers. And at the time, I saw a need for a good hemp paper, and through talking to manufacturers overseas, it took us a year and a half to find a manufacturer that was responsible enough and put out a good enough product that we trusted. And we literally have the best hemp paper in the industry.
You have the best hemp paper in the industry.
Absolutely.
Wow. And what's your volume like? What are you pushing out of there?
The volume could be better. Unfortunately, with the industry, we have seen a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? You call them roadblocks or detours. Um,
Roadblocks, yeah.
Basically, we're going up against Raw, who has a huge chunk of the market, and Raw has basically uh, made a lot of their vendors sign contracts, and they basically threaten their vendors, saying, if you carry this product or reorder this product, you're
Oof.
violating your contract with us.
Well, holy cow.
So yeah, I mean that basically came to my attention in Oregon, and then other states like Florida were still, at the time when I was in Florida, were still not permissible. So it was hard to get into to vendors down there. I talked with 7-Eleven corporate in Texas. I actually went there in person, and 7-Eleven has 35,000 stores internationally, and the huge numbers.
Oh, man, yeah.
And we still would like to get into 7-Eleven. At the time, they just took on a huge vendor, which I believe was OCB, which is more of a generic brand of hemp paper.
Okay.
So, I'm hoping that, through time they see the room for the ability to have multiple hemp papers on their shelf.
Yeah.
At the time, their head buyer basically told me that they had one, they were good, which to me doesn't really make sense, because you would think you would want to give the consumer a few options.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Well, and we, as a corporation, we're looking to develop, continue to develop more ancillary products. So ancillary means that we don't touch the plant right now.
Okay.
We are the brand Maui Wowie. We do represent Maui Wowie out of Maui, Hawaii, but we want to remain federally compliant.
Okay.
And until those federal restrictions change, we're just going to stay in the ancillary business.
Got it. Okay.
Super important when it comes to quote unquote investing or purchasing utility tokens from our corporation. You know what I mean? That purchase of the tokens would be kind of more of a long-term commitment on their part, but it's definitely going to be rewarded long-term.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so you've been in the crypto world for a while, right? What got you into it?
Actually, a friend of mine, Danny Kassler, he puts on the tattoo convention here in the state of Hawaii. Very, very accomplished young man. He was kind of getting into it at the time, and I saw that Bitcoin had made huge jumps up to about $20,000 this was like last November. October, November.
Yeah.
And I reached out to my friend, and he kind of mentored me a little bit as far as some of the things going on with crypto. And then I chose to educate myself with documentaries and really, really get a full understanding of the technology.
Okay. So then you really haven't been in it that long. I mean, how long have you known about it?
Oh, probably since it came out. I mean, I remember hearing about Silk Road back in, what was that, 2010?
Yeah.
And, I've known about it, but just like everybody else, honestly, the government or the media, I should say, has done a good job at convincing me that it was a pyramid scheme, so to speak. So I didn't really pay any attention to it. I didn't understand the full concept that it is technology, and it absolutely is. It's cryptography, and it's cryptography to the sense that there's no way to counterfeit. There's no way to fool the system.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, then I actually watched this one documentary that mentioned hash graph, which hash graph is actually on the cutting edge of everything in the sense that they want to apply smart contract technology to everything.
Yeah.
So we're talking vehicle registration, driver's licenses. The sky's the limit to where you could have full accountability of, things that are supposed to be solidarity in their function.
Huh. Okay.
Or singularity in their function.
All right.
So you're only supposed to have one driver's license, right?
Uh-huh.
So if your driver's license was part of a blockchain and smart contract, then no one else in the country or the world could be using that name and that ID.
Wow, that would solve a lot of problems right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Identity theft, all that gone.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean the technology is going to explode. Ethereum is literally the smartest application as long as they stay on their toes and really continue to develop what they're doing responsibly.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to our next question: is like, what's the concept behind the Maui Wowie token, and how does it relate to the cannabis industry?
It doesn't necessarily directly relate to the cannabis industry, but it does in the sense that in the future, we hope to assimilate coin to cannabis. But right now, to remain SEC compliant and federally compliant, we are strictly a utility token. And there is a difference between security token and utility token. We are not offering securities in our company. We are not offering anything other than almost a novelty token that could be exchanged. One token could be exchanged for one pack of our hemp rolling papers at retail value. That's our pre-ICO plan that's already been implemented. Now, obviously, we're hoping that somebody doesn't buy 1 million Maui Wowie coin and want to trade it for 1 million packs of papers. But if they did, we could suffice that. We're hoping that the romance with the brand really transpires to the currency, to the fact that we are put in position to be able to acquisition large parcels of land here on Maui.
And that's kind of what you're trying to do with the ICO, right? Is raise money to buy some land.
Correct. And one of the things I do a lot of research on the industry. One of the things I see the most of right now is embezzlement after people go ICO.
Oh yeah.
And to prevent that, what we plan on doing is when we go ICO, we're going to take all of the ICO money and directly invest it in real property.
Property. Okay.
And of course, pay Uncle Sam his share. First off.
Yep. Gotta pay him.
We plan on being 100% compliant all the way through, because we understand the value of what we bring to the table, and we also understand the a lot of the legalities. I mean, really, it boils back down to kind of the article that Entrepreneur Magazine wrote, which was, it's about compliance, and it's really simple. If you're compliant, you can survive the hubbub, so to speak.
Yeah.
A good example, I have a friend that's in cannabis, and he had one of the largest extraction companies in Oregon, and I won't say his name just out of respect, but he got caught in Nebraska with, I believe, uh, $6 million worth of extract
Oh,
and 60 pounds of cannabis. And Nebraska, shakes a finger at that. So he's looking at going to prison.
oh my gosh.
And least of which would be, if he didn't go to prison, he's going to lose the ability to get federal permission to do what he was doing before he got in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's about federal compliance. I myself can pass a federal background, and we plan on remaining federally compliant. Um, another corporation that we have filed is Hawaii Bitcoin. I would also like to develop that and help the state of Hawaii responsibly implement cryptocurrency in the state.
Yes. But besides that, I mean, you got some other things going on too. You have the Hawaii Hemp Association, Hawaii Cannabis Channel, 808 Marley, Maui Waui Digital Currency, Maui Waui Rolling Papers, which the Maui Waui Dispensary. Is that up and going?
No, sir. The main reason we secured the name was to prevent somebody else from adding a word
got it.
and using our name.
Okay. And then Maui Waui Magazine, you have that going right now?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
The reason being on that, we actually have a relationship with a paper manufacturer that's actually in Oregon that is willing to print our first magazine on hemp paper.
Wow. All right.
But to me, I've watched enough documentaries about very successful people, including Hefner. The first magazine is very important, and I don't want to put out crap. Maui Waui is no ka'oi. It's the very best. And until we have the funding to put together a responsible product, we're not going to develop that.
Yeah. All right.
But it's brilliant in the sense that the magazine will tie into the revenue from the Hawaii Cannabis Channel.
Got it. Okay. And what's the reception? I mean, you must have a lot of friends over there that you've talked to about this. What are they saying?
Honestly, everybody's excited. Everybody wants in. Most people don't know how to do the simplest thing to be able to receive crypto, which is obviously download.
That does seem to be a learning curve to that when you're first getting in.
Yes, sir, and it's kind of unfortunately it's a frustrating learning curve because there is no room for forgiveness. If you have the wrong wallet address or you have the wrong you have a number left off of your address, it would go to default, and so you wouldn't receive whatever token you were trying to get or Ethereum or whatnot. So
and it's
the
just
learning
gone
curve is
forever.
very hard. What's that?
And it's just gone forever, right?
Yes. I actually experienced that myself, and it's a horrible way to learn.
Oh man, yeah.
I had read an article that Ethereum. So we're in ERC20 now. There's a different Ethereum blockchain called ERC223. Now ERC223 has forgiveness for wrong addresses.
Oh, it does.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's more of a primitive blockchain, and I really like the ERC20, so we're sticking with it. But more than that, our algorithm already includes the ability to to apply newer technology when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So our coin or our token will advance with the newer technology as it comes out.
Yeah. All right.
So anybody who gets in early will see long-term growth. It's not like they're going to be holding something that's more nostalgic than anything. They're going to hold something that has application value at some point.
Yeah. So I would look into some of the pictures here, and you must go to a lot of conventions. You got your Maui Wowie rolling papers posters and T-shirts, and stuff. Do you? Where can people pick that stuff up?
We do have a website, the Maui Wowie rollingpapers.com. We're looking to open a store on Oahu, actually in downtown Waikiki. Unfortunately, again, everything takes money. That project is projected at about, give or take, about $850,000 just to open the doors.
Wow!
But it's a location directly underneath the Hard Rock Cafe in Waikiki.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh yeah. So it really, we have a lot of opportunity, and really the only thing stopping us is capital. And that's kind of where the utility token really comes into play. It gives us the ability to develop and be able to offer those people that hold token the ability to use them at some point for Maui Wowie or in other crypto applications.
Yeah. Awesome. And now, when did you say, or did you even tell us when the ICO happens? When's that happening?
Our projected date for ICO is June 1st.
June 1st. Okay.
We're currently in pre-ICO stage. There's a big write-up on our website. It has a checkout. You can actually use PayPal. We are selling lots of 100 coin for $3 a piece, so total of $300, which is a very minimal investment. And what else? We just had our pre-ICO sale, our first pre-ICO sale on the website actually yesterday, which is great.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So
Yeah,
we're
so
starting to get some traction.
Yeah, yes, sir. And we project our projected pre-ICO lot is 1,000 of the 100 tokens. So 100,000 total.
Okay.
And then when we get ready to go ICO, we have a really solid value already established. And I'm hoping that the industry will accept our actual ICO price that I'm hoping to set at $50 a token. And the direct reason for that being, we have a particular parcel of land that we want to acquisition, and it's very pricey.
Yeah.
But I think long term, once we acquisition that parcel of land, it'll add so much significant value to whoever holds token that the token, our programmer honestly believes our token will hit $1,000 within 2 years.
$1,000 in 2 years.
$1,000 within 2 years.
Now, you guys have other brothers in the crypto cannabis tokens, right?
I wouldn't necessarily call them brothers.
Cousins?
But,
Cousins? Just second cousin by marriage?
Redheaded stepchild, maybe.
Okay.
But yes, I am aware of like hemp coin and canna coin and weed coin.
So how are you different from these guys?
Yeah, well, I don't want to bash anybody, and I don't want to be.
No. I'm just asking, how you're different. So I'm not asking to trash anybody. Yeah.
The way that we're different is we have a real company, and we have a real federal trademark. We have 3 state trademarks here in the state of Hawaii. We also have a trade name filing backing up our cryptocurrency. So Maui Wowie as a trade name is approved by the state of Hawaii as digital currency.
Okay.
And on top of that, um, we I believe we have more to offer. If you were talking the cannabis consumer, we have more to offer the cannabis consumer. But as a crypto person in general, I think we have more to offer because of our legitimacy and our determination to remain 100% compliant.
Yeah.
Um, Hempcoin decided to make their own blockchain. So they're not Ethereum based, first of all. Second of all, they kind of diluted their own token by creating 2 point something billion. And there's already 1 point something billion on the market. That's why they're not that much.
Huh.
With Maui Wowie, there's only 70 something million that is going to be offered to the open market ever. So we will see that intrinsic value probably by maybe not this summer, but next summer will be sold out, and we will start seeing intrinsic value happen. That's why we'll hit the $1,000 mark.
Wow. Okay. And you must have done some research on these other companies before you guys launched this. So, what did you learn not to do from what you saw from the other guys?
Um, honestly, I owe a lot of credit to Matthew. He had an. I originally wanted to make our own blockchain, our own algorithm, and Matthew said, "No, you want to go with ERC-20? It's the smartest technology out." And we went from that point, and obviously we both did research. I actually stayed with Matthew for the month that it took to create our token. We both he programmed and I did artwork for the website. So we kind of worked back to back, kind of like Binance did. It was a very interesting interaction. But it was a blessing in disguise because Matthew he's a tremendous talent.
Wow. And how long have you known Matthew?
Believe it or not, I had just met him. I had flown from at the time I was in Texas. I was visiting mom in Texas, and I flew from Texas to Oahu to do a cannabis convention, the 3rd annual cannabis convention for Hawaii, which is doing fantastic, by the way. I flew out there to do that convention, and just before I left Texas, I actually had found out that Hawaii had passed Bill 3082, which was cryptocurrency exchange. So I filed Hawaii Bitcoin and later separated it from Maui and made Hawaii Bitcoin its own corporation. But I filed it and secured the name. I came out to Hawaii, and I literally met Matthew the second day I was back in Hawaii. And while he was sitting down talking to me, he created a sample token on the Ethereum test network to show me what he could do. And it's just
that
all
fast.
history from
Just
there.
sitting down there doing nothing and just created a token out of nothing.
Correct.
Wow. Smart guy.
Very, very brilliant. I mean, the amount of code that I saw flash before my eyes, it literally was mind-boggling.
And so you guys, you're working on this furiously, and how can the audience, how can they be part of this, and how can they help out?
Well, there's obviously there's opportunity to get in on the pre-ICO. You could go to www.mauiwowicoin.com, or um, you could wait for the ICO, but you're already going to be kind of out of the early stage there.
Yeah.
But you're still looking to make money even at the ICO stage. If we're talking our projected goal of reaching $1,000 a coin.
Wow. And I definitely want to be part of that. $1,000 a coin. That would be crazy great. Um,
Well, Maui Wowie is an internationally famous brand already. It exists in the psyche of you, anywhere between your 30-year-old and 75-year-old, and we're not we are not in any way taking advantage of that. We are trying to responsibly um, develop that. That makes sense. The name is geographical. So we have been quoted by the European Trademark Office and both the Federal Trademark Office that Maui Wowie means cannabis. And for us, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship for that particular subject, because it made it harder for us to get our federal trademark, but we were able to because we have the name on a responsibly implemented product, which is the hemp rolling papers.
yeah. Okay.
Um, but there is a lot of illicit use of the name on the mainland, and ultimately, Maui Wowie is a geographical brand. So in your cannabis industry, California, when they wrote the rec law, they actually included geographical brand protection in their law. It's literally the same level of protection that wine has. So you can't have a Chardonnay from let's say Napa Valley and represent it as being a Chardonnay from France.
No. No.
It's the same. It's the same with Maui Wowie. Maui Wowie literally is Pakalolo that comes from Maui, Hawaii.
And you guys are the only place that can grow it.
Correct. It 100% is not a strain. I have literally had Danny Danko from High Times Magazine want to interview me on the strain of Maui Wowie.
Yeah.
And I let him know that it's not a strain, it's a geographical brand. And here, this guy works for a company that is over 30 years old in the industry, and he didn't even know what Maui Wowie really was. Leafly is misquoting Maui Wowie as well, which is unfortunate. Bottom line is again, it's a geographical brand. It's Pakalolo that actually grows here in Maui. So long term, our business strategy is to acquisition land. Once the federal and international restrictions drop, we can grow Pakalolo here and sell it internationally, and really change the economic structure for a lot of Hawaiians, because there's a lot of Hawaiians that own land, but they work two jobs.
Wow. They're not utilizing that land.
Because the cost of living is so ridiculously high here. But if they were able to grow Pakalolo, and initially we're gonna start with hemp, and obviously that's why we own the Hawaii Hemp Association. We've been working hard at that. They could grow Pakalolo, bring it to an exchange. The exchange would be set up to where it could test for mold and quality, and it could also pay them for bulk. So they're not affecting the tourist market, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's something that almost like a recycling center. It's something that can be very well commoditized and legitimized.
Very cool, man. Well, this is great. I don't partake in it myself, but I understand the importance of it, and I understand that it needs to be a little more accepted than it is. And I think if evangelists like yourself get out there to the masses and preach your gospel, I think the people start seeing the light of day, and
Well,
let's this be just as legal as going down to the corner store and buying a 6 pack of Coors Light.
correct. I know for a fact the main opposition isn't only your pharmaceutical companies, because they're actually adapting into the I guess the medical value of cannabis and using the extractability. But your main opposition is your alcohol industry and whatnot. Bottom line is 47 states right now have already legalized in one form or another for cannabis, whether it's medical or decriminalized or full on rec.
Hmm.
So bottom line is eventually the federal government is going to do the responsible thing and hear the voice of the people and allow for proper regulation and compliance.
Yeah.
And that's that again. That's the key. As long as there's compliance, I mean, it's something that should have been done 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should have. Well, this is great, man. I'm glad I came across you. Glad we connected on LinkedIn there, and I have your LinkedIn page up here, so people want to connect with you on LinkedIn. We have
Nice.
that. We have our MauiWowieCoin.com up here, and if any other, we've got a couple of them. We have wallet.MauiWowieCoin.com, and then MauiWowieRollingPapers.com, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And, just get a hold of Chris here for your rolling paper needs. And absolutely, let's jump on to that pre-ICO lot of 100 tokens. Pick up 4 or 5 of those.
The thing to remember, Dean, is we're not just a rolling paper company, and so many people say that, and it makes me giggle. Procter Gamble started out making soap and candles. That is the product that we were able to use to facilitate a federal trademark, and we do plan on staying in the paper business. So when we do grow hemp, we're going to use every part of the hemp. I plan on bringing paper making equipment to Maui. And hopefully one day getting large contracts for paper. That would be the other opposition, by the way, is the paper industry.
Yeah.
But more than that, we on a quick note, other ancillary products that we already have kind of waiting to be manufactured is hemp paper towels and hemp disposable coffee filters.
Wow. Okay. Great.
So, I mean, the ability to really adapt into the market by utilizing a responsible product and at the same time really getting our name out there and still facilitating compliance with the federal government. Once the federal restrictions do drop, we will be completely in position to be $1 trillion company.
Man. Well, I'm glad I got to meet you before this. I can hop on your train there.
It was a pleasure, Dean.
All right, man. Well, you guys enjoy the early part of your day and the rest of it. You gonna go surfing today? Are you a surfing guy?
I was when I was younger. I'm kind of afraid of sharks, to be honest. Not to bash the surf industry, but I think it would be perfect irony for a shark wouldn't eat me. By the way, they would just mouth me. That would be perfect irony. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a little pot brownie in the ocean there for him, right?
Well, imagine the tattoo guy. He's tortured, probably 25,000 people over his career. Gets mouthed by sharks.
Yeah. Well, I think you got to have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do of being eaten by a shark. But I understand your fear, man. I'm right there with you. I hate the water too, dude. That's why I can't learn how to surf, because I was so terrified of what was underneath me that I just couldn't get over it. So I never learned how to surf.
In Hawaii, the shark is called the mano, and it's also an amakua. An amakua means like a guardian angel for a family bloodline. So the shark is literally an amakua for families out here.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So just a little bit of Hawaiian trivia there for you.
Got it. All right.
And many mahalos. And by the way, I look forward to meeting you in person at
you're going to be out to I forgot to mention that. You're going to be out here in about a week or so at the
LA Crypto Invest Summit.
Yes, I just had a conversation with a guy. Forgive me 1 second as I pull his name up here. Adam Levy from the Crypto Invest Summit. He has granted me my wish of being there to broadcast live. If anybody's there that would like to come over to my booth, my table, my corner, wherever I'm going to be stuck, and talk and hang out, we'll do a live interview there. All right.
Well, as they say in Hawaii, I will come over and talk story with you, bro.
Beautiful, brah. All right.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.